The headlines. India off to a great start at Tokyo Olympics. Mirabai Chanu clinches first silver in weightlifting. The President, Prime Minister congratulate Chanu. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says could not have asked for a happier start to Tokyo Olympics. President Ramnath Kovind plants a sapling from the holy Bodhi tree at Rashtrapati Bhavan on the occasion of Ashadh Purnima Dhamma Chakra Divas. Prime Minister says India has shown that it can face even the most difficult challenge following the path of Buddha. Home Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate several projects in Meghalaya today. More than 42 crore 78 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. National recovery rate stands at 97.35%. Heavy rainfall reported in Maharashtra, Karnataka. Flood situation remains grim in Bihar. NDRF and SDRF teams pressed into service. CBI raids 40 locations in Jammu and Kashmir in connection with the fake gun license case. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Shok Baba forests in Bandipora district of Jammu and Kashmir. Rituals of Chadi Mubarak Bhumi Pujan for Amarnath pilgrimage performed in Gauri Shankar temple at Pahalgam today. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask. Maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing. Focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Weightlifter Mirabai Chanu has secured the first medal for the country at Tokyo Olympics, winning the silver in the women's 49 kilogram category. She lifted a total 202 kilograms in clean and jerk category. Ho Ji-hyu of China won the gold, lifting 210 kilograms, creating an Olympic record. In table tennis, India's Sumit Nagal won his first round men's singles match 6-4, 6-7, 6-4 against Uzbekistan's Denis Istomin, while Indian archers Deepika Kumari and Praveen Jadhav lost to South Korea's An San and Kim Jae-deok 6-2 in the quarter-final. In badminton, Chirag Shetty and Ranki Reddy have defeated Li Yang and Wong Shi Ling of Taipei 21-16, 16-21, 27-25 in Group A men's doubles match. B. Sai Praneeth lost in men's single category to Zilbar Man Misha in Group D encounter. Shooter Saurabh Chaudhary was placed at the 7th number in 10-meter air pistol finals. Earlier today, India started its men's hockey campaign with a win, beating New Zealand 3-2 in Pool A opening match. Rupinder Pal Singh scored 1 goal, while Harmanpreet Singh scored 2 goals. Indian women will also start their campaign against Netherlands at 5:15 p.m. today. In the women's 10-meter air rifle qualification event, India failed to qualify for the final round at the Tokyo Olympics 2020. Former world number 1 Apurvi Chandela finished at 36th place in her qualification round. She could manage only a 621.9. China clinched its first gold medal in Tokyo Olympics in women's 10-meter air rifle shooting. Yang Qiang set an Olympic record of 251.8 to win the medal at the Osaka shooting range. Russia's Anastasia won silver, while Switzerland's Nina Christian won the first bronze medal of Tokyo 2020.
President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla have congratulated Mirabai Chanu for winning the silver medal. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu also congratulated Mirabai Chanu, saying the nation is very proud of her achievement. Prime Minister said in a tweet, could not have asked for a happier start to Tokyo Olympics. He said India is elated by Saicom Mirabai Chanu's stupendous performance. He said that her success motivates every Indian. Mr. Birla said women power has once again brought laurels to the country and India is proud of Mirabai's success. He said this feat of the ace weightlifter will inspire other players also. Home Minister Amit Shah said he is so proud of Mirabai Chanu for clinching the silver medal. He wished her all the very best for her future endeavours. Congratulating Mirabai Chanu, Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said the country is so proud of her. The minister said she has brought smile on faces of 135 crore Indians today.
A big thank you and congratulations Mirabai Chanuji. On the very first day, you have won the silver medal and brought smile for 135 crore Indians. We are proud of you, and on behalf of Honorable Prime Minister Modi and the entire country, I would like to congratulate you for inspiring Indians as well as winning the silver medal for Team India for the country. Thank you. Congratulations once again.
In table tennis, Manika Batra cruised through first round of women's singles with 11-7, 11-6, 12-10, 11-9 victory over Great Britain's Tin Tin Ho.
All India Radio, Doordarshan and DD Sports are doing mega coverage of the 2020 Olympics.
Different sporting events at the Olympics will be broadcast live daily on DD Sports from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. All AIR Capital stations, FM Rainbow Network, DRM and other interested AIR stations will broadcast programs on Olympics. The programs will also be carried over AIR's YouTube channel, DTH, and on News on AIR mobile app. Daily highlights and periodic FM updates will also be given. The News Services Division of AIR has been broadcasting Olympics quiz daily in its SportsCat program since the 1st of this month. Winners from all over the country will get Team India jersey. Daily profiles of Indian team members are being given in SportsCat program and primetime news bulletins. Exclusive news stories focusing on India's medal prospects, preparations of the team and support by the government, as well as exclusive interviews and special discussions are also being broadcast. Messages of eminent sports persons, coaches, relatives of team members and social influencers will be broadcast by AIR News and its 46 regional news units in 77 languages. Social media platforms of the news network of All India Radio across the country are amplifying the coverage by posting photos, videos and related stories through tweets and infographics in English, Hindi and regional languages.
On the occasion of Ashar Purnima Dhamma Chakra Divas, President Ramnath Kovind today planted a sapling from the holy Bodhi tree at an event organized at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Union Culture Minister G. Kishan Reddy, Ministers of State for Culture Arjun Ram Meghwal and Meenakshi Lekhi were present on the occasion. Later, in his virtual address at the Ashar Purnima Dhamma Chakra Day program, Mr. Kovind said, application of Buddhist values and principles in addressing issues of global concern will help in healing the world and making it a better place. He said it is important to stick to the essence of the teachings of Buddha and not get lost in several different interpretations and variations of it.
The world needs the power of the Buddha in the form of love, compassion, non-violence and healing to conquer the forces of violence, disease, conflict and poverty.
The President said that reeling under the impact of COVID-19, the world more than ever before needs the healing touch of compassion, kindness and selflessness. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, sharing his message on the occasion, said that Lord Buddha is all the more relevant in today's times of corona pandemic. He said India has shown how we can face even the most difficult challenge by following the path of Buddha. Mr. Modi said the entire world is moving in solidarity, following the teachings of Lord Buddha. He said in this Care with Prayer initiative of the International Buddhist Confederation is praiseworthy. The Prime Minister said harmony between our mind, speech and resolve and between our action and effort can guide us away from pain and towards happiness.
आप सभी को धम्म चक्र प्रवर्तन दिवस और आषाढ़ पूर्णिमा की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आज हम गुरु पूर्णिमा भी मनाते हैं और आज के ही दिन भगवान बुद्ध ने बुद्धत्व की प्राप्ति के बाद अपना पहला ज्ञान संसार को दिया था। हमारे यहाँ कहा गया है, जहाँ ज्ञान है वहीं पूर्णता, वही पूर्णिमा है। और जब उपदेश करने वाले स्वयं बुद्ध हो तो स्वाभाविक है कि ज्ञान संस्कार के कल्याण का पर्याय बन जाता है।
The Prime Minister said it inspires us to work for the general welfare during good times and gives us strength to face difficult times. Mr. Modi said Lord Buddha gave us eightfold path to achieve this harmony. The Prime Minister said when Buddha forged in the fire of sacrifice and endurance, then these were not mere words but an entire cycle of Dhamma began, and the knowledge flowing from him became synonymous with the welfare of the world. He said that is why today he has followers all over the world.
भगवान बुद्ध ने हमें जीवन के लिए अष्टांग सूत्र 8 मंत्र दिए। सम्यक दृष्टि, सम्यक संकल्प, सम्यक वाणी, सम्यक कर्म, सम्यक आजीविका, सम्यक प्रयास, सम्यक मन, सम्यक समाधि, यानी मन की एकाग्रता। मन, वाणी और संकल्प में, हमारे कर्मों और प्रयासों में अगर ये संतुलन है तो हम दुखों से निकलकर प्रगति और सुख को हासिल कर सकते हैं। यही संतुलन हमें अच्छे समय में हमें लोक कल्याण की प्रेरणा देता है और मुश्किल में धैर्य रखने की ताकत देता है।
Quoting Dhammapad, Mr. Modi remarked that enmity does not quell enmity. Rather, enmity is calmed with love and by a big heart. He said in times of tragedy, the world has felt this power of love and harmony. The Prime Minister said as with this knowledge of Buddha, the experience of humanity gets enriched, the world will touch new heights of success and prosperity.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has greeted people on Guru Purnima. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said, Guru Purnima is the day to remember and pay our gratitude to Gurus who guided and shaped our lives with their wisdom and blessings. He also shared a quote of Guru Nanak Dev Ji that, let no man in the world live in delusion. Without a Guru, none can cross over to the other shore. Home Minister Amit Shah today bowed to Gurus on the occasion of Guru Purnima. In a tweet, Mr. Shah said, Guru is not only a teacher but also a guide who removes all the defects of the disciple with his knowledge and takes him out of every crisis. Union Home Minister Amit Shah is reaching Shillong on a 2-day visit of Meghalaya along with a few other union ministers handling portfolios for the northeastern states. The Union Home Minister will also chair a closed-door meeting with the Chief Ministers, the Chief Secretaries and the Police Chiefs of all the northeastern states to discuss, among other agendas, the interstate boundary issue. More in this report.
The Union Home Minister will inaugurate the interstate bus terminus at Maoyong in the outskirts of the Shillong city and a cryogenic plant at New Shillong Township this afternoon. During his 2-day visit, the Union Home Minister is likely to discuss the ongoing developmental projects, overall law and order scenario, economic challenges, special projects and schemes apart from interstate conflicts. Following the events of today, the Union Home Minister will visit Sora, earlier known as Serapunji, on Sunday to inaugurate the Greater Sora Water Supply Scheme and a separate afforestation project. He is also scheduled to pay a visit to the Ramakrishna Mission Ashram tomorrow. This is Rustam for AIR News, Shillong.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India off to a great start at Tokyo Olympics. Mirabai Chanu clinches first silver in weightlifting. The President and Prime Minister congratulate Chanu. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says could not have asked for a happier start to Tokyo Olympics. President Ram Nath Kovind plants a sapling from the holy Bodhi tree at Rashtrapati Bhavan on the occasion of Ashad Purnima Dhamma Chakra Divas. Prime Minister says India has shown that it can face even the most difficult challenge following the path of Buddha. Home Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate several projects in Meghalaya today. More than 42 crore 78 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. National recovery rate stands at 97.35%. Heavy rainfall reported in Maharashtra, Karnataka. Flood situation remains grim in Bihar. NDRF and SDRF teams pressed into service. CBI raids 40 locations in Jammu and Kashmir in connection with the fake gun license case. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Chok Baba forest in Bandipora district of Jammu and Kashmir. Rituals of Chhari Mubarak Bhumi Pujan for Amarnath pilgrimage performed in Gauri Shankar Temple at Pahalgam today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. More than 42 crore 78 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said in the last 24 hours, more than 42 lakh 67,000 doses were administered. The recovery rate now stands at 97.35%, with more than 35,000 patients recovering during the last 24 hours. In the same period, over 39,000 new cases were reported in the country. Weekly positivity rate remains below 5% at 2.22%. 546 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours. Till now, more than 4,20,000 people have lost their lives due to the pandemic. Testing capacity has been substantially ramped up, and more than 45 crore 45 lakh tests have been conducted till now. Yesterday, more than 16 lakh 31,000 tests were conducted. In Karnataka, the state government has announced further relaxation in the COVID lockdown norms today. The places of worship and other religious places are allowed to open from tomorrow. People have been advised to adhere to COVID-appropriate behavior. However, temple fairs, festivals, processions and congregations will not be allowed. The government has also allowed amusement parks and similar places of entertainment to reopen by following COVID-appropriate behavior. But water sports or any water-related activities will not be allowed.
India is expected to start COVID vaccination for children by September this year. Talking to a private TV channel, AIIMS Director Dr. Randeep Guleria said Zydus has already done the trials and they are waiting for the emergency authorization. He said Bharat Biotech's Covaxin trial should also be over by August or September this year, and by that time it should get an approval. He said Pfizer vaccine has already been approved by the US regulator. Dr. Guleria added that by September, India should start vaccinating children, which will be a big boost to break the chain of transmission of COVID-19. Union government has capped the trade margin for 5 medical devices. They are pulse oximeter, blood pressure monitoring machine, nebulizer, digital thermometer and glucometer. The National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, exercising extraordinary powers in public interest, has capped the margin up to 70% on price to distributor level. The revised MRP has come into effect from 20th of this month. Following this, the price reduction up to 88% has been reported by 91% brands of these 5 medical devices. The downward revision of MRP has been reported by imported and domestic brands across all the categories. The highest reduction in prices for pulse oximeters, blood pressure monitoring machine and nebulizer has been reported by importers. The move will further strengthen the government's fight against COVID pandemic.
Dr. Raman Sharma, Professor Medicine, SMS Medical College, Jaipur, has said that vaccination is the basis of herd immunity in fight against COVID-19, and the immunity can be achieved by ending various types of infections. He said this while participating in the Corona Jagrukta program series of All India Radio last night.
हर्ड इम्यूनिटी को थोड़ा सा एडल्ट्स में भी और बढ़ाना है. बढ़ाना कैसे हो सकता है? कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर तो है ही है. दूसरा, एसिम्प्टोमेटिक इन्फेक्शन जिनको हो गया है उनकी इम्यूनिटी आ जाती है. तीसरा, वैक्सीनेशन. वैक्सीनेशन सबसे प्राइम इम्पोर्टेंस है. वैक्सीनेशन का सबसे मुख्य उद्देश्य ये है कि गंभीर बीमारी से बचना. इन्फेक्शन तो गले का भले ही हो जाए, पर वो लंग्स में निमोनिया नहीं करेगा. तो 95 to 100% चांसेस ऐसे रहेंगे कि दोनों वैक्सीनेशन के बाद जिसने इंडिविजुअल ने वैक्सीनेशन लिया है उसको गंभीर संक्रमण नहीं होगा या कॉम्प्लिकेशन जो कोविड के इतने खतरनाक है वो नहीं होंगे.
In Karnataka, heavy rainfall was reported from Uttara Kannada, Shivamoga, Kuddagadu, Pelagavi, Haveri, Chikmagaluru, Dharwad, Hassan and Davangere districts. The Indian Coast Guards conducted a day-long rescue operation in the flood-hit Uttara Kannada district and rescued 100 people from Kharjejog village and Bodojog Island. The Revenue Minister and Vice Chairman of Karnataka State Disaster Management Authority, Ashok, said many areas in the Uttara Kannada district were hit by heavy downpour, and Dogri village in Ankola Taluk witnessed a record 541 millimeter of rainfall, and many areas in Sirsi Taluk reported 400 millimeters of rainfall. The minister said that 13 major reservoirs in the state have storage of over 561 TMC water, which is over 65% of the total storage capacity. Due to landslides on NH 75, vehicle movement between Hassan and Bellur was blocked for some time.
Torrential rainfall in various parts of Maharashtra coinciding with discharge from dams led to floods across many districts in the state. Mahad and Poladpur in Raigad, Chiplun and Khed in Ratnagiri along with various areas in Satara, Kolhapur and Sangli district have been affected badly. 21 teams of NDRF, 7 teams of Indian Navy, 4 teams of SDRF and 3 teams each of Indian Army and Coast Guard are working for rescue of stranded civilians. More from our correspondent.
According to the Relief and Rehabilitation Department, about 90,000 people have been evacuated from the flood-hit areas in Maharashtra. A total of 76 deaths have been reported, 38 people are injured and 59 are missing. Due to heavy rainfall in Satara, with Mahabaleshwar receiving more than 1100 millimeter of rainfall in less than 48 hours, resulted in heavy discharge from the Koyna Dam. The heavy rainfall has caused landslides at multiple places. The district administration is shifting people from vulnerable areas and is on high alert for an impending flood situation. In Kolhapur, rivers in the district including Panchganga have breached the danger mark and have caused floods in many areas. District administration has evacuated people from low-lying areas with the help of NDRF and local teams. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
President Ram Nath Kovind today spoke to Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari and expressed his concern over loss of life and property in the state due to heavy rain and floods. During the telephonic conversation, the governor apprised Mr. Kovind about rescue and relief works being undertaken to mitigate people's plight.
In Bihar, over 110,000 people have been evacuated so far in flood-affected areas of the state. 11 districts, including Darbhanga, Madhubani, East and West Champaran, are under the grip of flood. About 400 villages of the state are surrounded with flood waters. 16 teams of NDRF and SDRF have been pressed into relief and rescue operations. The people are being shifted to higher and safer places. Meanwhile, the flood situation remained grim in flood-affected areas of the state. Several rivers, including Kosi, Bagmati and Gandak, are flowing above the danger mark. Surging water of River Kosi entered into over 300 houses in Supol district following breach of Dagmara embankment. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the sleuths of Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, is today conducting raids and searches at around 40 locations in connection with an ongoing investigation into fake gun license case. Our correspondent reports that the central agency conducted searches at Jammu, Srinagar, Udhampur, Rajouri, Anantnag, Baramulla, Delhi and the official and residential premises of then public servants, including IAS officers and around 20 gun houses. The case was first probed by Anti-Terror Squad of Rajasthan, after which it was handed over to the CBI after startling revelations about fake gun licenses given to non-J&K residents surfaced.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists were killed in an encounter with security forces in Chok Baba forest of Samblar area in Bandipora district this morning. The encounter broke out after a joint team of J&K police, army and CRPF launched Cardon and search operation CASO in the area. The identity of the slain terrorist is being ascertained. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the rituals of Bhumi Pujan related to Chhari Mubarak of this year's Amarnath pilgrimage were performed in historical Gauri Shankar temple at Pahalgam in South Kashmir's Anantnag district today. Chhadi Mubarak, led by Mahant Dipendra Giri along with sadhus, was taken from Dashnami Akhada Srinagar to Pahalgam today to perform the Bhumi Pujan of Chhadi Mubarak. Special prayers were held to Lord Shiva for bestowing peace, prosperity and well-being for the whole mankind. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 a.m. tomorrow. This will be the 79th episode of the monthly radio program.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has expressed grief on the demise of Kerala's oldest learner, Bhagirathi Amma. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said, "She reminded us of the dictum, where there is a will, there is a way," by returning to education at the age of 105. The Vice President said she was truly an embodiment of Nari Shakti and an inspiration to many. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also expressed grief over the demise of Bhagirathi Amma. She passed away yesterday at the age of 107. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that there is much to learn from her life journey, particularly her everlasting passion towards learning new things. Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to experience generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 27 and 36 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 28 degrees. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Temperature will vary between 26 and 34 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 26 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 31 degrees. Srinagar will experience partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 14 and 30 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky. Leh is expected to have generally cloudy sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will be around 14 and 30 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 16 and 35 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will experience mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 39 degrees. Guwahati, Imphal, Shillong and Aizawl will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. In Guwahati, the minimum temperature will be around 28 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be 36 degrees. Imphal will observe a minimum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 29 degrees. Shillong temperature will hover between 19 and 27 degrees Celsius. In Aizawl, the minimum temperature will be 19 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 27 degrees. Kohima and Agartala are also expected to have generally cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. Kohima, the minimum and maximum temperature will be between 19 and 28 degrees Celsius. In Agartala, the temperature will hover between 26 and 32 degrees. Itanagar and Gangtok will experience generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India off to a great start at Tokyo Olympics. Mirabai Chanu clinches first silver in weightlifting. The President and the Prime Minister congratulate Chanu. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says could not have asked for a happier start to Tokyo Olympics. President Ramnath Kovind plants a sapling from the holy Bodhi tree at Rashtrapati Bhavan on the occasion of Ashad Purnima Dhamma Chakra Divas. Prime Minister says India has shown that it can face even the most difficult challenge following the path of Buddha. Home Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate several projects in Meghalaya today. More than 42 crore 78 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. National recovery rate stands at 97.35%. Heavy rainfall reported in Maharashtra, Karnataka. Flood situation remains grim in Bihar. NDRF and SDRF teams pressed into service. CBI raids 40 locations in Jammu and Kashmir in connection with the fake gun license case. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Shok Baba forest in Bandipora district of Jammu and Kashmir. Rituals of Chhadi Mubarak Bhumi Pujan for Amarnath pilgrimage performed in Gauri Shankar temple at Pahalgam today. And with that, we end the midday news.